right, folks. This time, it's time to channel Alice Cooper. As you know what? This is 18, and I like it. Well, let's just say this is season 18 of Kenny's Two Pennies. Never thought you'd see it, would you? 18 years. Heck, I never thought I'd reach 54 on Sunday, but I did. Oh well, enough about age, enough about years. Let's get on with it. First, this show is dedicated to Cameron Thistle. She is the Waterloo girl who is due to be the next big star for the Waterloo volleyball team. Tragically, she suddenly passed away last weekend. And I mean, it has left the Waterloo schools, Waterloo community in a little bit of shock. I tell you what, she seemed like a very nice young girl. She seemed like a big star in the making. And you know what? Let's honor her memory with this show. And this entire season is dedicated to a guy who loved my show and who was a giant around here and in Geneva. Greg Cotterill was a great broadcaster, great DJ, and a great businessman, especially with the radio stations up there at Hobart and William Smith. But I mean, he was one of what I call the big three on WSFW in the 80s. Him, Bob Appel, and Web Dog. They're all gone. And you know what? Because you loved my show, you know what? It's only fitting that this entire season is in your memory, Greg. Thank you for all the support. And now let's get on with it. Yeah, Syracuse is going to have a pretty tough time this year. They've got one of the toughest schedules in all of Division I, and it showed on Saturday. The Aflac opener down in Atlanta in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yeah, Tennessee is one of the top guns in the SEC, and they showed it. And I mean, there were a lot of glaring weaknesses exposed, especially when it comes to tackling. Hey, whoever the defensive coach is for the Orange, can't you show the proper technique? Apparently, heck, they can grab, just like Vince Lombardi would, but nobody's tackling. I mean, if the ghost of Vince Lombardi was on the Syracuse sidelines, heck, he'd be saying, "What the hell's going on out here? Grab. Nobody tackling out there. Everybody grabbing." I mean, there are a few positive things. Yazin Willis looks like a great successor to LaQuinn Allen. At running back, he ran for 3 touchdowns. And Steve Angeli, I mean, he showed when he wasn't getting killed back there in the pocket. Hey, he's got a pretty good delivery. But the thing is, a lot of people can say something about his name. Angeli, yeah, they tried to jam him up. Maybe a little peanut butter. But you know what? Enough jokes. You may have come from Notre Dame, but I mean, heck, with a little luck and a little more training, you could almost be like Kyle McCord. But heck, last year we were spoiled with Kyle McCord. And I mean, he's now in the NFL on the practice squad for Philadelphia. You know what? He should have made the team. But oh well, that's what happens in the pros. But I mean, heck, 45-26, we went down to the Volunteers. And now it is the first home game of the season against our old friends from Stores. If you want to say Stores. Yeah, is there any stores? I'd rather have markets in Connecticut. Yep, it's Jim Mora in UConn. But you know what? This Jim Mora doesn't say that was a disgraceful display. In my opinion, that sucked. What's that? Playoffs? We don't talk about playoffs here in the FBS. We just hope that UConn can win a game. All right, enough with the quips for this. Let's get back on the winning track, Syracuse. And you know what? new traffic patterns as they continue with that I-81 project. Yep, you might want to go to the Skytop. You might want to go to Lally. Lally? It should be Manley Fieldhouse. Oh well, that's what happens when you got a benefactor that helps to improve the facilities there. You never know. But I mean, heck, speaking of improved facilities, let's all get into the dome and support the Orange this year. You know what? It'll be a tough year, but heck, 2 more months, we can see Mello's son playing basketball. We'll see. Now I'm going from talking about the Orange to talking about the Bills. The season opener is this coming Sunday night against the Ravens in Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson says, "Oh, I'm really focused. I'm going to be better." Yeah, you've said that before. But I mean, heck, they're still a formidable opponent. Lamar Jackson is still a pretty formidable quarterback. But we got the reigning league MVP with us. Josh Allen and the Bills are ready. And who knew that a lot of the old Bills are starting to return to the fold? Jordan Phillips back for a 4th time. And Gabriel Davis. Yeah, he got injured, but guess what? Jacksonville gave up on him after a year. So you know what? Gabriel Davis. He may be on the practice squad, but it may be pretty soon he's elevated. You know what? It isn't shocking that he'll be there. And I mean, I got to come up with a couple more quips. I mean, what happens if new 3rd-string tight end Jackson Haas makes a big catch? Hey, could you please check the radiator, Jackson? Okay. Haas! Ho! Ha! Ha! Hey! Don't you know when you touch a hot radiator, you shouldn't do that? You know what? If you want to check the water, look. I think look in the reservoir. There's a level there. You know what? That's a good way to start it off, Mr. Haas. And heck, Curtis Samuel. If you make a big catch there at wide receiver, you know what? It's according to the book of Samuel. Hallelujah! I did that kind of real low. I didn't want to break the microphone. But oh well. Josh Allen and the Bills are ready to maybe hopefully make a run to the Super Bowl. And it all starts this Sunday night against Baltimore. Edgar Allan Poe, eat your heart out. Yeah, Baltimore's gotten behind the Ravens. But you know what? This is Josh Allen and the Bills. And you know, this is the last season for Highmark Stadium. Of course, I knew it by a few other names. Rich Stadium, Bill Stadium, Ralph Wilson Stadium, New Era Field, and all of that. Well, whatever. Let's ring out Highmark Stadium in fashion, shall we? Now I'm going from talking about the Bills to, hey, the high schools are getting ready. Get ready, Waterloo. Get ready, Mynderse. Get ready, all of Finger Lakes. Volleyball has already started. And of course, Waterloo, I hope, tries to have a good season in light of the tragic circumstances. And Mynderse, hopefully you have a good year. Well, of course, a lot of people will be looking at football. And yes, the final game of the regular season will be Waterloo and Mynderse at Brock Field. The rivalry's back on, and let's hope it's a good game. Let's hope the Tigers and let's hope the Blue Devils have great seasons. And I mean, to all the kids, let's have a good year. Let's have a good fall. And you know what? I'll be watching. Kenny's Two Pennies is always pretty supportive of the high schools. And you know what? I want to see some good performances, and I want to see some pretty good effort out of all of yous. And I mean, heck, Waterloo does have a new coach. And I mean, she is a new teacher, Alexis Price. And she was a pretty good all-star when she played for Geneva. Let's hope she can bring that to Waterloo. And I mean, this is going to be an excellent ball. Let's see what happens, kids. And speaking of kids, yeah, a lot of districts, Rochester, Syracuse, a lot of districts have these cameras. Syracuse even has speed cameras now all around their school zones. You know what? There's so many cameras to protect the kids. Heck, you got stop arm cameras like this. You got red light cameras. You got speed cameras. What's next? Cameras? Yeah, in case of the other cameras feel run down, that's what they say. And of course, in the schools, the rules now about cell phones. You know what? That's good. The kids need to pay attention in class. They can't be texting or emailing friends while the teacher is trying to get the golden rule and all of what they're trying to teach the kids across. You know what? It's a good thing that the schools have these. They got the Velcro, they got the lock, and they got the hand. Oh, well, maybe not the hand. But you know what? It's a good thing that they're doing this for cell phones. I went to school. I didn't need a cell phone. Why are these kids? Of course, some parents are crying, oh, how are we going to get hold of our kids? Hey, there's a phone in the office. If they need to make a call, go down to the office. Wait about 5 deep in line, like I had to do a couple of times. You know what? Let's have a good school year, folks, for Waterloo, for Seneca Falls, for all the districts around. And last but not least, this whole thing of the war of the words now between Oklahoma State and Oregon. Mike Gundy has definitely thrown a salvo. Heck, they don't really have a big budget to kind of, hey, for everything with games and kids. I mean, Oregon apparently has like $40 million per game. Well, you know what? It's pretty good you got a benefactor like Phil Knight, who started and has grown Nike into one of the biggest businesses in the world. But you know what? Some of us like Oklahoma State and Syracuse don't have all the money in the world. Some of us ain't old and feel like being put upon. You know what? Heck, Bill Knight, you're a great inventor. You've had a great company. And heck, Oregon is the epicenter of track and field. Steve Prefontaine, God rest his soul, put Oregon on the map. But you don't need to flaunt Oregon like that. Hey, we got all this money. Good for you. Well, you know what? All the money in the world doesn't solve everything. You know, kudos to Mike Gundy. I mean, he's got a point. We can all survive on less, Oregon. And that's all I have to say. And as my mom, God rest her soul, who would have turned 87 yesterday, says, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.